Do you fear that you're never going to finish the book that you long to write? When I was pregnant with my first son, and even again with my second, I'm nearing the end of the third trimester when, the baby is big and almost due. Part of me thought, this just isn't going to happen. The baby is not going to come out. I'm going to be the one exception to the rule where I just go on being pregnant forever. Obviously, that did not happen. Obviously, nature and my body took over, and those babies were born. Now, of course, it's a little different with a book because the birthing is more metaphorical, but there is something that we need to trust in the process of writing our books, that we can get to the end because other writers have gotten to the end. Other writers have finished their books. So if you are sitting with the fear of not finishing, just take a moment to put your hands on your heart, maybe look around at your bookshelves and think, wow, those writers finished those books. And that means I can too. Now, I know there's all sorts of comparison stuff and there's all sorts of, things we can get into, but just practicing that. I know for myself, when my friend Julie finished her book, when I saw someone I knew and wrote with finish their book, I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So find yourself someone that you are sort of on the same journey with, and acknowledge them and be inspired by them. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing I would encourage you to do is to write small. I know I've said it before, and so many people begin writing and they begin with a novel or they begin with a memoir. That's long form and hard to sustain. Now, I'm not discouraging you from writing either novels or memoirs, but if you are struggling with finishing, take an aspect of the novel. Maybe you take two characters from the novel and you throw them in another kind of situation and you write a short story. Not our memoir, take an aspect of the memoir and write a small personal essay, something that gets you from beginning to end. So you build your own confidence in finishing. Now, if you were learning woodworking, say, and you'd never built anything, and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna build a house. That's a big learning curve right off the bat. So when you start small, you learn a lot about the craft, and the things you learn, you can bring into your longer form. The stakes are lower, the word count is lower, and you build your confidence getting from beginning to end. Then there is community. So part, I think, of why writers don't finish their work is that it's not that they don't have the heart or the inclination, but that their skill isn't quite matching their vision. So Know when it's time to seek help, seek support. If you read any writer's acknowledgments, the list is long. you know, Beta readers and teachers and mentors and um, other writers whose books they read. All of these are instrumental to finishing a book. So if you find yourself plateauing and thinking, I'm never going to reach the end because I don't know how to push through this kind of fog, then find support. There's lots and lots of book coaches out there and story midwives, and we're around because we know how challenging it is to birth your book. So, in those late stages of pregnancy, just as I had mentioned, the belief that I wasn't going to birth my sons, that plateau can feel like that, like an eternity. And the last stage of the pregnancy is the labor. Are those contractions? Is that pushing? Is that delivering this being into the world? And so, just knowing, I think, that there is difficulty, there is challenge in finishing, and you're not alone. There's so many writers out there to support you. So when you reach that stage, know that you can reach out and find the support that you and your story need.